Welcome back for our continuing discussion with Marv Dauer. We're going to talk about his clients and how you might become one. Marv, how does an actor get on your radar?
Oh, great question. I guess the easiest way, and it's so ambiguous, is someone that can light up a room. And how you can bottle that, I don't know. When I met Eva LaRue, going back to her, she has something that wherever she goes, everybody loves her. And
Sure.
Boy, if I could put that in a bottle, we'd be zillionaires. Someone that's so dedicated, I mean, again, I'm repeating myself, that makes this a lifestyle. They got to want it so bad that, and I mean, through the years, I've had people say, I can't go on an audition, I have a date tonight. Well, they're out. But I've watched people study for 10 hours for an audition. They want it so bad. And I've had other people say they'll look at, I remember a girl once went in for Zorro, the role that Catherine Zeta-Jones did. She brought the material in and looked at it as she walked in front of the casting director. I said, come on. I mean, you see everything. People that want it so bad.
Sure.
It's an addiction because once you get one job, you want another job. But really, if you can light up a room and also be able to perform in front of the producers and the cast director. A lot of people are great in class. You hear from acting coaches, Bill's wonderful. They choke. I mean, there's a lot of pressure, especially when you're reading for a pilot in front of 20 guys wearing suits. You have $25,000 a week in your career on the line. It's nerve time. Like when I was a kid, I could make every free throw in the backyard. You get into a game, it feels like the hoop's moving. And that's really, if you can perform under pressure, it's wonderful.
Now, would you agree, an observation I've made, and it's not a universal, but it's pretty consistent. A lot of actors arrive in LA from other places, and they just want to start auditioning for big movies and big TV shows, and I generally tend to find that they're not ready, even though they, like you had said, they might be ready in another market or in
Right.
class. There is something else to that whole audition and callbacks and screen tests that they're not really prepared for just by flying to Los Angeles.
No, it's almost like a pyramid. When you first get here, you'll do pretty much anything. And as you get more successful and more famous and a better actor, you work less but do better projects. And you have to realize wherever you can start. Anything you can get on tape. It's hard to get a short film these days. So basically, I mean, I think everybody, unless there's nepotism, pays the price and goes up the ladder. You try to get to the top where they send scripts to you. At the bottom is somebody, I've heard so many people say, I don't want to do a soap opera. And I said, okay. Like, why? Well, because I'm better than that. And I mean, of course, they never got the soap opera. Great story. Mark Tester, who cast General Hospital, was a very close friend. They had a role for a 25-year-old brunette. He got 3,000 submissions. He saw 150 girls. He brought 30 to the producer. They tested 7. Not good odds. And people say, I don't want to do daytime. And I mean, daytime has started more stars than anything in the business.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just from Meg Ryan to Kelsey Grammer to Richard Dean, a lot of people.
I did a column on that recently, about 2 months ago, about why actors should take another look at daytime.
Oh.
Right now, you've got Vincent Pastore from The Sopranos on General Hospital.
Eva.
You have Eva LaRue, who started there. Sarah Michelle Gellar
Right,
started.
right.
So, Kim Delaney.
Jordana
It's an
Brewster.
endless list.
Oh, yeah,
It's an endless
absolutely.
list of talent.
Yep.
And
they learn how to be an actor. I mean, you learn
Yes.
40 pages of dialogue
While
3
getting
times a
paid.
week. Yes, while you're getting
it's
paid.
on-the-job training.
Right,
Why
right.
wouldn't you do it?
Somebody gives some people bad advice. They come out to Hollywood and say, I'm going to be a movie star.
Yeah.
I don't know who's giving that advice, but a lot of people back in smaller towns, homecoming queens or beauty queens, think it's going to be easy. And you get, the big fish in the little pond, etc.
Right.
Doesn't work here. Too many people, not enough jobs available. I mean, you got to really be trained. You can't get enough training. And again, when you go into that room, not only are you trained, but you got to handle pressure.
Well, I like how you talk about the lifestyle, and I think that's a valuable thing to keep going back to, because I also call it the marathon.
Sure.
I'd say an actor that comes to Los Angeles with a year or two as their timeline isn't being realistic.
No.
I have students and acquaintances who are actors, and they're in their 7th or 8th year, and they are just starting to book television.
Right.
Because we all have to get to know them. We need to know them and then keep bringing them in.
I think they need a game plan. And let's say you come to California on January 1st. Where do I want to be by April 1st, by July 1st, by December of the next?
Goals.
And you just goals somewhere, but make them realistic. I mean, if you could book your first job in 3 months in Los Angeles, you're doing great. Nobody would think I'm going to get 5 jobs. It's really hard, and I can't emphasize 400,000 actors with 50 jobs a day available. Not good odds. Lottery are probably better.
Well, and actors don't know at what point they're going to hit. You know, there's the Allison Janneys of the world.
Sure.
There's Kathy Joosten, who came out here around at the
Eva Longoria.
Right.
I mean, all of a sudden, the right place at the right time, and she's America's sweetheart. And I mean, if
meteoric.
Yeah, unbelievable. And I know 4 years ago, I think she was on Young and Restless, and they wrote her character out. It's amazing.
Right.
But so much luck. But you better be prepared, because you're going to get one shot, and if you don't do it at that time.
Yeah. Well, I think we both had met Eva before she was working.
Absolutely.
And we both said it's just a question of when.
Of when, absolutely. But there's just not enough Eva LaRue's out there.
No.
I mean, just.
No.
And I've talked to her about it over and over, and basically, I've been to parties with her, and no matter who she's talking to, she pays attention to them. She looks them in the eye. She answers them, no matter who's there. She doesn't, how you go to a party and someone's talking to you and a bigger cast director, and they look around and it's nice talking to you. Welcome to Hollywood. She's not that way, and she's never been that way.
Well, you don't seem to have a big tolerance for the divas, because I've known your clients over the years. I've known Eva, I've known Hunter. I see them at your parties, and they're like a normal person.
Yeah.
They're not looking to see if anybody's taking their picture. They're not sitting there all pretentious. They're real people.
Yeah, no, and it's got to be
their
that
moms
way. But I grew up in that avenue. I grew up in Austin, Minnesota. That's a little town, and people they don't care what you do, and they care about who you are and not what you do. And too many people out here identify themselves with what they do, not who they are. And either I got too old for it, but they better be real people. They better be nice people, and they better be professional.
Right. So let me come full circle with
Sure.
that. I'm an actor in LA. Let's say I've been here 5 years. I want to get on your radar. Do I send you a postcard? Do I send you a flyer to a show I'm in? Do I invite you to come see something? Do I send you my tape?
I get 100 pictures a week, and I don't call anybody in. Unless they're recommended by a producer, a cast director, or a friend of mine. I won't see him.
A referral.
Right.
Even if they look like the next Eva LaRue?
I would see the next Eva LaRue.
Okay. So it's possible.
Yeah, well, it's 1 out of 500 I bring in.
Okay.
I brought very, very few in, and I think I've signed one person. Because if they send it to you, they send it to 3,000 other people too.
Right.
And if nobody else responded, it's a feeling. I guess somebody could come in here and a young fellow came in this past week. He's 21 years old, and I liked him, but he had, great breeding. His dad was Herschel Bernardi.
Oh, okay.
And he'd studied
actor.
for 4 years. Great. And so I'm going to work with him. But he had the greatest training is some 4-year school in acting in New York. And
he has pedigree.
Right. He has pedigree. So
Sure.
there's an exception. And the only other person I've signed in a long time is a girl that looks just like a 21-year-old Grace Kelly, who was a runner-up to Miss Universe. And all she cares about is acting. The most beautiful girl I've ever seen. That would be it probably for the last 2 years of anybody I've signed.
Okay.
As far as when you get into the 30s and 40s, I know a lot of agencies that would take nobody at that age, which is really terrible at ageism. But unless you're on a series, boy, it's gotten tough because movie stars are taking guest stars in television series, less jobs.
Let's pause right there, because our next topic is going to be age, acting at different ages. So we're going to wrap it up for this segment. Please join us for the next one. We're here with Marv Dauer. I'm Mark Sikes on the Virtual Channel Network, and we're going to talk about acting at different ages.